All right, we are live. Hello, everyone, and welcome for joining us this evening. My name is Melissa. I am joined tonight by Mindy, who is also a volunteer with the community, and we are going to do some chatting today. Like, get cozy, grab your tea, beverage, blanket, whatever you need, and let's just chat about some Austen things and have a lot of fun. So, thank you, Mindy, for joining me because normally I'm alone, so it's really nice to have somebody joining me. And you asked if we should match, and I said I am not that organized, and then we ended up matching anyway. So welcome.
Thank you, Melissa. I'm so happy to get to hang out with you tonight.
Mindy and I never have any problem chatting about Austen stuff, so we're really excited to be chatting and for you to join us. Feel free to leave any comments in the chat below as we're going. If you're watching this later, feel free also to leave a comment, and we'll be checking it and we'll reply then as well. So I thought we'd start off with what we've been currently reading. We didn't tell each other what we've been reading, so I'm really excited to see what you have on your pile. And then we have books picked out that we want to get through done before the end of the year. So we'll see what we have. If I hope we don't match in books as well. That would take this to the next level.
I think it's possible, though. I'm sure there's one that we both have on our list.
It is very possible. Do you want to go ahead and start with what you're currently reading?
Okay, well, I had a really super reader week last week. So I was able to get through 4 books. My first was Here One Moment by Leanne Moriarty. Have you ever read any of her books?
I have not. So tell me, can you give me a brief idea of what they are?
Sure. So she is known for writing it's like a step beyond a cozy mystery. So sometimes she's got a little bit of violence in there. Sometimes she takes it a little bit further in the graphic nature, but they are so intriguing, and everything is set in Australia, where she's from.
Oh, wow.
And Here One Moment, she really pays a whole lot of attention to the idea of the chaos theory. And the story begins with a woman standing up on an airplane and pointing at passengers and predicting when they're going to die and how they're going to die.
I'm already freaked out.
Right? It's wild, but it's so good. It's so well written, and I would highly recommend it to anyone. I also did a reread of Stephanie Meyer's. I know this is backwards, but this is Midnight Sun, the 5th book in the Twilight Saga. That was a reread for me. I read the first book in Katie Rosensteel's middle grades fantasy series. It's called Land of Legends, LOL. And then I also read For This Christmas Only by Cairo Carson. And this one was really fun for me because both Katie and Cairo are local to Orlando, Florida. And so I've met both of them, and I adore both of them. So this was like okay, we're in December. I want to support some other indie authors. And I got to roll those out last week.
I love it.
But as for what I'm reading right now, I was going to pull it up on my phone, but who knows if you'll be able to see it or not. I am reading, it's kind of washed out, but I am reading our book club book on my phone, Arctic Fury.
Yeah. How are you feeling about it so far? Because I've been getting messages and I haven't started it yet. I'm a little behind. I'm trying to finish up a few other things, but it seems like everyone's loving it so far. I
am only on chapter 6, but it's very engaging. I have watched the TV show, Yellow Jackets on Showtime. Have you heard of it?
I have not, no.
This has some very similar vibes, and I'm hoping it doesn't detour that way, but we'll see. So I'm really excited to continue with the reading.
That's one of my favorite parts in the community is getting messages from people at random times who are reading the book club book that we have and just like, oh my goodness, I can't put it down, or I just started and I love it. So that's really fun. And I actually just connected with Greer McAllister, the author, and she's going to be joining us in the community in January because I know everybody's super busy this time of month. So we'll get to talk to her and pick her brain a little bit about how this book came to be and what inspired it. So that's going to be a lot of fun.
That's fantastic. I will have to make sure I put that date in my calendar so that I can be a part of that book talk.
Yes. As soon as we nail down a date, I will make sure to let everybody know. So you
Thank you.
are doing better than me. I did not get through 4 books. I normally am pretty good about picking the books that I know I'm going to like. I think maybe you found the same, like as you have been reading for years, you kind of can tell right away if you're going to jive with the book or not. But I've kind of been back to reading more arcs on NetGalley lately. So
Mm-hmm.
I was kind of taking some chances with some different holiday romance books because December to me is like going to be nothing but holiday romance. It's just
Yes.
the way that it is. So I started one. It was, I can't remember the exact title, and I don't like to really share titles about books that it didn't work for me. So, but it was set in like Paris. They were, she was redoing a hotel sort of thing. She was a writer looking for inspiration, and it wasn't bad. It was just moving really slow for me. And so
Mm.
I find, and this is not for everybody, but if it's taking me like 3 or 4 days to get to a book and I'm not like thinking about it all day, like I have to get back to it, then it's probably not the book for me. And it was just moving a little slow for my liking. So I was like, you know what? Life is short. I am going to put this one down. And I decided to pick up, I don't know if mine will show either because it's on my Kindle, but I have the Christmas Countdown.
Okay.
And I'm only maybe like 4 chapters in, but it's super cute. The idea is she had a bad breakup and she lives with her sister. Her sister's going to be going back home for Christmas and she's trying to help her out of this funk. So she wrapped all these boxes for while she's gone. And it's like a advent calendar of activities to do, which I thought
Mm-hmm.
sounded like such a cute idea. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and that would, I feel like that would cheer me up to have somebody write a bunch
Yeah.
of ideas of things to do. So I'm just at the meet cute, and she was at the Christmas tree farm. Her sister was making her look for a Christmas tree. That was like their first activity to do together before the sister goes back home. So we'll see if the Christmas countdown holds up. But I feel like it's going to be a really cute, Hallmarky style read.
I love holiday romances. I'm so glad you're diving into them too.
Me too. There's just something so comforting about them, and they're light and easy and fun. And I don't know how you can't read about romance and not be in a good mood. So that's
Yes.
what I was
Well, and I
thinking.
love to see the creative ways authors come up with taking some of those tried and true, like you said, a Christmas tree farm or an advent calendar. I love to see how they twist it and make it new. So
Absolutely.
I'm with you.
So, what do you have that you want to finish before the year is over?
Well, I have, and this is going to look ridiculous because I've already got a million flags in it, but this is William Shakespeare's Othello. I am almost as big of a Shakespeare fanatic as I am a Janeite. And because I used to be an English teacher, right? So I taught Shakespeare. It didn't matter what grade I was teaching, I always made room to do one of his plays. And as you can tell, I've taught Othello quite a few times. But my eldest son is in his junior year, and we've already done Hamlet and Macbeth and Taming of the Shrew and Midsummer Night's Dream and Romeo and Juliet. So we've already done quite a few of the most popular ones. And I asked, what do you want to do next, The Tempest or Othello? And he said Othello. So
Nice.
I have got my copy ready to go with my notes for things to discuss with my boy.
Mom mode is like activated. English teacher mode is activated. You are ready to go.
Yep, it's happy Christmas break at my house because we are going to be knee deep in Shakespeare.
My son, freshman in high school, and they just did their first drama production, and they did Midsummer Night Dream. And I thought for high school they did a really good job. It was really fun to watch, and that is kind of intimidating. I feel like in 2024 to do like full on Shakespeare, but they did a great job with it. I do think it's really sometimes when people come to Jane Austen and it's a little bit of struggle to read because it is the sentence structure is so different. Shakespeare's kind of next level compared to that a bit, but it's really great to kind of flex your brain muscles and challenge yourself and just take it slow. And once you start dabbling in it, it becomes a little bit easier. I'm sure you have methods you used with your students to get them to appreciate it. And it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Well, I would be interested to know anybody who's watching or wants to chime in, even later if you're watching and when it appears in the aftermath. I would love to know how many people are like me, where they love Jane, but they also love Shakespeare, because I'm guessing those communities aren't too far apart from one another.
Yeah, any of the classics. Like, let us know what classics do you really love besides reading Austen. I think it would be fun to see the pairings.
Mm-hmm.
I have 2 books, and I need you to help me pick between the 2.
All right.
I don't know how many I'm going to get through to the end, but so I had One Day in December. I don't know if you've ever seen this one before. I had this one picked out. I grabbed it at a library sale.
It's a Reese's pick, I see. Reese's Book Club pick. Okay.
Yes. It's 2 people, 10 chances, 1 unforgettable love story. So I think it's like a little, we're not talking light and fluffy, a little bit more sentimental of a romance going on here, which isn't all bad. So it might be worth it. Then my second pick, do you ever go to the library and they have like the shelves with the staff picks, and I can't walk past it without being, what do other people, what are they recommending? It feels like it's just made for me to be looking at. So I saw this one here. It's Baking Christmas. It's not very big, so it could be a really good end of the year. And the reason it grabbed me is because it is set in Ohio, where I currently live. And I really love reading books that are set where you live. And Laurel, our main character, is a social media manager, which is what I do for authors. So that's one of the things I've been talking to people that I really love more and more about contemporary romance books, contemporary books in general, is we're starting to see a wider variety of jobs that people have as our world is changing. And in the last like decade, you know, there's so many jobs that didn't even exist before that we get to see main characters having. And I think it's a lot of fun to read about.
I agree.
Yeah. So what do you think? Which one should I go with? Help me make my decision. If anybody wants to tell me in the chat too what I should read.
Sounds like to me you might enjoy the second one, the Baking Christmas, because you do kind of have some shared interests with the main character there.
Yes.
But if it were me, I don't know if I'd pick that one, because my least favorite trope is fake relationships. And just with faking in the title, I make the assumption that there's going to be some kind of,
we're going to assume,
you know what I mean? Yeah. Yes. So I think, you know, because that one looks maybe like it might be a little bit lighter and fluffier, you might be able to read it pretty quickly. So maybe start with that one.
Okay. Now I feel pressured and I have to read them both, Mindy. This is all your fault.
That's okay. If I get you to read, that's all good.
Hazel just left us a comment, and she loves Shakespeare too. Oh, she did Romeo and Juliet. I love that. 1971. Do you still remember it, Hazel? Next time I see you in the community chat, can you give us a few lines? That would be amazing. So you are not alone, Mindy. There are some fellow Jane and Shakespeare fans out there. Oh, Hazel doesn't like faking tropes either. Oh my goodness.
Thank you, Hazel.
Mindy feels vindicated now. It is. There's definitely with the holiday romances, you do see like the certain tropes that come up. I would say fake dating sort of tropes or fake engagement, very common. Sometimes get the like only one room or only one cabin or only one whatever. That's pretty common as well. I'm sure there's others, if I thought about it more, that you definitely see in romance.
Oh, the article you sent me the other day, another blogger had written about in a lot of the most recent Christmas movies. It was kooky families and being trapped with the other, you know, your partner's family. And I thought, geez.
This doesn't sound like fun.
Fun. And, you know, I love my kooky family, so people can get trapped with us if they want.
Right. Snowden. Yeah, that would be like trapped Snowden. All right. Well, let's talk about should we go to some movies that we watched this year?
Sure.
And let me see if I can do a little magic here. All right. And we have some Jane Austen themed shows. I would love to know from anybody if they saw any of these movies. And Mindy, this was your year of Austen TV, right?
Yes, for sure. I was very devoted to everything Austen related, but I especially tried to pay attention to movies that had some kind of connection to Jane Austen and her work. Yes.
So we had three here that we have seen a mix of. It's been a little while, but we just thought we would see if any of you had seen them in the past year and what your thoughts were on them. Do you like seeing Austen themed TV adaptations? We'll be talking about some upcoming ones a little later. Paging Mr. Darcy. So do you remember, can you give us a little synopsis about this one at all?
Sure. I was kind of talking before about this, but this was a very personal one for me because as an author, I had come up with a really similar idea. Down here in Florida, we luckily have a lot of Jane Austen events, and one of them is the Jane Austen Fest that happens every February in Mount Dora. So a couple of years ago, I'd come home and I was all kinds of inspired because I thought, oh, wow, wouldn't it be great to write a story about, a female academic who shows up to participate in a conference like this? And then, lo and behold, a year and a half later, Paging Mr. Darcy emerged on the Hallmark Channel. And right? I mean, it's just the craziest thing that it is a similar idea where the main female character, she adores Jane Austen's work, but she's a very literary minded woman. And so when she goes to a conference, she isn't so excited to participate in the ballroom dancing or the bonnet making, and she isn't keen on being in the plays or the theater productions. But the gentleman there that you see, he actually plays a role as Mr. Darcy, where he dresses up for these conventions. And so he does participate, and he thinks that it's a lovely tribute to the author. And so they have quite an interesting opposites attract sort of chemistry working for them.
He kind of gave me a little bit more serious, but kind of Henry Tilney, because he played Henry Tilney, Austen Land, where is it J.J. Fields, I think is the author, we keep talking about books. The actor's name in Austen Land that's playing kind of the Mr. Darcy sort of character, and it's a similar-ish vibe in here, which I think is a lot of fun. It looks like, so Hazel doesn't get these in Denmark and Karen doesn't get them in Brazil. I'm so sad for you. Maybe, do they ever eventually, do you get to see these, or is it just when they first release, they're not there? I would be interested to know. That's the one sad part. Sometimes we get some of these here in the States and they don't make their way for other people to enjoy. Love and Jane. I remember this one. Yes, thank you, Hazel, JJ Field. Love and Jane. So you can correct me, Mindy. I think it was she. He's an author, I believe, and she owns a bookshop, I think it was, and she sees Jane kind of keeps appearing to her sort of and giving her like this advice push as she goes. This one wasn't one of my favorites out of the releases with Jane Austen in it. I don't know, I found it I was a little disturbed. Like if Jane Austen kept appearing to me in my room, I would be a little wary. So it was hard to make this one a little believable, but it was still fun because it's always fun when we see Jane Austen and things. But have you seen this one recent enough to remember?
For me, this one, and it stands out because I'm looking at the graphic currently, but I remember being so wildly into watching it because the actress there is Alison Sweeney. And when I was much younger than I should have been, I used to watch Alison Sweeney on the soap opera Days of Our Lives. So I have this fun connection with her where I'm sort of a fan of her work. But like you, as I was watching it, I found myself thinking that it was an oddity to have Jane keep popping up. And some of the advice that she would give the main character didn't always seem Austen-esque to me. It seemed more modern.
Yeah.
So
It's one of the hard things with adaptations is like we all have our own ideals. And if it doesn't meet what we think should be the ideal of Jane Austen or what she would do or how she would act, then it's hard to take on the adaptations and make it work for everybody because we all have such wildly different opinions. And An American in Austen, you said you had not seen this one. I did see it. I don't really remember a ton about it, but I do remember that it sort of, she has, I can't remember if she hits her head, something happens and she's kind of like taken into like the Pride and Prejudice sort of world. And she starts falling in love with Mr. Darcy. I can't remember how it ends. I'm curious to know if anyone enjoys fantasy retellings of Jane Austen. I have read some fantasy Jane Austen fan fiction that was a lot of fun. Like dragons and Elizabeth Bennet could go really well together and make for a really interesting Pride and Prejudice retelling. So yeah, An American in Austen, I guess I could rewatch it because I won't remember what's gonna happen. Maybe you and I can have a watch party and we can
that would be fun.
Yeah.
I don't know. And I know it wasn't quite this year, but it feels so close. The third season of Sanditon. Did you watch Sanditon?
I did. I did it while working, which doesn't mean that I see every single bit that's on. And I kind of binged it all the way through, but I did enjoy it. I liked it. I know some people were not as big a fan after like the shift kind of happens after the season, but I enjoyed it. Do you have any like go-to rewatches for Austen movie adaptations?
Oh, outside of the 1995 Pride and Prejudice, because that's on everyone's list.
You're not allowed to say things like that when we're on. We cannot start any controversy.
Well, actually, I was talking to my husband about this the other day when I was making my way through some of the holiday movies, looking for connections to Jane Austen. And I said, I wasn't sure if he remembered this, but ever since we've been married, anytime I'm truly sick, my go-to is to be still on the couch and watch the 1995 BBC version of Pride and Prejudice. It's like my comfort classic. That's where I go when I need to just be feeling better.
And it justifies watching that long of the show because I feel like it's really hard. It's not just like, oh, I'm going to watch it on a quick Tuesday night. You have to commit. So when you're sick, perfect time.
Well, you know, because I used to teach Jane Austen, like I talked about teaching Shakespeare in the classroom, but I also used to teach Pride and Prejudice to my students, and I would use clips from that version. So I have, I think, 4 DVD sets of it. Oh, and now it's also available to stream. So it's at my fingertips, and anytime's a good time for a rewatch.
Have you seen the new, I don't know all the right lingo, but the new clearer version that they have out?
Like a remastered version?
Yes. It looks so clear. I really want to watch it.
Oh, well, if they can make that pond Darcy dives into look crystal clear, then I'll give it a go.
The ocean water clear.
Right?
Love it. Mine is Love and Friendship. I don't know why, but I have seen that so many times and it makes me laugh. It's just my feel-good movie. Have you seen it?
No.
Okay, we have to fix that. You have to watch
Yes.
Love and Friendship.
I need to write it down so I do not forget.
It's just Kate Beckinsale is so good in it as this like villainous character. It really highlights Austen's wit in the way that they filmed it. There's so many funny parts. It makes me laugh every single time. I'm curious if anyone else has seen Love and Friendship and loves it as much as I do. Let me know.
Is it a play on her juvenilia?
Yes. So you
Okay.
kind of, yeah. I won't give too much away. It's not very long. It's only, I think, maybe like an hour and 45 minutes ish.
Oh, well, I can fit
But
that in tonight.
yes, you can. Hazel says it's amazing. Thank you, Hazel.
Okay.
I'm glad you agree with me. It's on, I think it's on Prime streaming is the last place that I normally watch it. So check it out.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm on it.
I can't wait to hear your thoughts.
Okay.
All right.
And any of our viewers, feel free to watch it too. And then you can jump in and talk with us about it next time. That way we can have a lively discussion about this movie that's old but new to us.
That's what we are here for, is to make each other read more, share Austen adaptations, give each other things to keep us busy. All right, next we put together a little gift guide for anybody that wants to gift themselves or anyone in your life that enjoys Jane Austen. Like, here's just our suggestions of some things that we have. And
I have to tell you, Melissa, before we get rolling, that when I was telling my husband about our live stream tonight, I mentioned that we were doing this gift guide, and he says, "Ooh, can I get a copy of that?"
I love it. You're like, here you go, do all the shopping.
Well, I said, honey, it's 7 days till Christmas. I feel like we could have talked about this 3 weeks ago.
It can still come late. It's all right as long as it's an Austen themed gift.
Yeah.
Mindy kindly put together these graphics for us, and they are amazing. So thank you, Mindy, for taking the time to put together our gift guide.
My pleasure.
So first up, we have Spend Your Pin Money on a new book. Let me know if you have the copy of this book. Have you seen it, Mindy? Do you have this version?
I think you have shown it to me before. Like, you've held it up because you have it, right?
Yes. I'm going to grab it here. It's just tough.
It's gorgeous.
I can't believe I haven't convinced you. So as you can see, I have like so many letters pulled out because I use them for social media posts and everything. But it really is an interactive experience of reading Pride and Prejudice. Like, I don't know if you'll be able to see the handwriting here, and then it even like folds out like you would have it, and it comes properly like locked, like a letter would be locked, and you have to open them, and it's just really, really so much fun. They're kind of in these vellum pockets as you go through, like where they would be at in the book itself, and you could take them out. There's also a persuasion that I have that is really fun. You get like the sheet from the concerts, like just so many cool things. There's a Little Women, which I have that one, and I think there might be an Anne of Green Gables that's out now that I don't have yet. But it's really I think a must-have for any Austen fan. Mindy, this is yours.
Yes, I was. It was funny, of course, we're in this literacy community. So both Melissa and I came up with a couple of different books. But for me, I was trying to grab ones that I felt like our group or our organization had discussed recently. So the one, furthest off to the left there is Miss Austen by Jill Hornby. And if you haven't read it yet, it's fantastic. It's going to be a series, right? Not just a movie, but a series.
Yes.
Very soon, I believe. What I enjoyed about it is that I could feel as if the author had done research, which is something I appreciate so much in historical fiction. The book on the right should be kind of something our readers do recognize, because that's Murder in Highbury. And you just had Vanessa Kelly with you a couple weeks ago, right?
Yeah, she's actually a member in the community as well, and she kindly came on. She did a few talks for us talking about writing the book and how it came to be, and discussing, and Hazel actually was there with us sharing a lot more information about Emma, the book itself, and Austen side of it. So it was a lot of fun.
I think that's wonderful. If we're going to do, some Austen related works, let's have someone in our community who's given us something really great. And then, of course, the treasure there in the center is a nice bound collection, which This is really similar to the one I own. But mine is not so pretty nowadays because I take it to the beach with me. I live in Florida, and I take it to the beach with me, and I've always got it propped up on my stomach on my bathing suit. So my edges are a little bit warped, but it has been a sturdy companion throughout many a beach trip.
I think you're just saying that to make me really jealous while I'm sitting here and it's like freezing cold and raining at the beach when I'm reading Austen. Thanks, Mindy. All right. A place to keep your pin money. I have this wallet. It is amazing. And it is the perfect little like Austen conversation starter when you're out. It holds all your cards. And I think it'd be a really fun gift for somebody if you're not maybe entirely sure what to get them. It's kind of like generic enough where they're not going to feel like they have to read if you're not sure if they're a reader. But if you know they like the movie adaptations or something, this could be a really fun gift. I absolutely love this wallet, and it's actually lasted a really long time. And the company, I can't remember, it's novel something. If you search like Peacock version Pride and Prejudice wallet, this should come up. But they actually have tons of different classics now that they make, and they do purses and lots of other things besides. They started out with wallets. It was like one of the first ones that they made, and it came up, of course, on like one of my social media feeds, and I was like, yes, I absolutely have to have this in my life. And I think wallets always make kind of a fun gift.
Does it button or a magnet or a clip or anything that keeps it?
It doesn't close at all with anything, but it does kind of like, it's a really hefty sort of binding to it. It's really sturdy. So, and it just does your cards. So mine always seems to stay closed pretty well in my purse, at least. I don't know how it would do outside of a purse, but in there it holds its own.
So you have plenty of room for all of your library cards?
Yes.
We had that discussion last week, right?
Everything keeps making me switch to digital, and I'm not that ready for technology to change.
I don't know about everybody else out there, but both Melissa and I have multiple library cards to various libraries because we have to get our books somehow.
Let's see. You need ones for audiobooks. You need ones for your ebooks. And you need your local library. Too many.
This one I thought was fun. It's a gift that if you give to a Janeite, hopefully you can enjoy too. And it's a matchmaking game inspired by Jane Austen's characters. I have not played it. Well, you know, it was part of the community conversation we had last week. The gentleman who makes these games is going to be participating with us later. And I thought it was so interesting that I looked it up and I thought, okay, maybe this is something I'll buy myself for the holiday.
Right. I have it's something over there. It's a Mr. Darcy something it's called, and it's a Austen card game. And I have not convinced anyone in my family to play it with me yet, but I'm going to one of these days. All right, next up, the cutest earrings. I don't have these exact pair, but I have a pair that was made to look like the Persuasion cover version of the Pride and Prejudice I just showed you. I think it's a really fun way to accessorize and show your love of Austen with a cute pair of earrings. And this could be good for maybe, I think even like a teenager that loves Austen. And it's a cute way to express that for them with little earrings. I just thought it's different. It's something unique that you don't always see with Austen. Oh, Hazel we have one card for every library in Denmark. Okay, you win the prize, Hazel.
That would be convenient. So, you know, all of us who are Austen fans, can we ever get enough of reading Mr. Darcy's letter or Captain Wentworth's letter? Of course not. But I feel like people who enjoy reading Austen's work, they appreciate writing letters as well. So I came up with this idea to encourage a friend to start a new habit by getting them a nice stationery set. And I actually have a friend down here, she's a local vendor, who she runs a company called Tortoise Designs, and they are gorgeous. They're minimalist. So it's the type of thing that you could get for anybody in your life. And I really think if we're going to bring back a trend, wouldn't writing letters to one another be the trend you'd want?
Yes.
You know?
Yes. It's so like, I keep thinking, now we send text and email back and forth and everything. And the other day I was cleaning something out and I stumbled across a letter that my grandfather had sent me when I was in like my second year of college, and I still had it tucked away somewhere. And I was like, we're not going to have that anymore with all of our digital communication, where you just stumble across something that you forgot you had tucked away, special memento, something like that. So I love this idea of stationery set for people. All right, and then we have exquisite letters. So there's the ones in the book, and then there's also, I think, a few different companies out there that do like gifted letter sort of stories that you can do. Again, just playing off that fun, personal, something that people can come back to and read over and over again. You could even, I think, write someone a special letter just to let them know how much you care about them, how much they mean in your life, and send it to them. I think that would be really personal way to kind of have a gift that's not a gift, if that makes sense. And just sometimes knowing that people see what you're doing for them or appreciate you, those sorts of things can mean so much more than just another little knickknack on the shelf that you have over time. So I guess we're pushing letters tonight a lot as I'm going through this.
I love it though. I love that. I think getting a letter, sending a letter, there's nothing better.
Yeah.
Everyone loves mail.
Absolutely. Especially when it's not junk mail.
Right. So I know this picture does not do justice to some of the amazing dresses that have been Regency inspired, but this is actually from the website Stitch and Addiction, and I admire the woman who has created these frocks because she has various collections. Melissa, are you familiar with that work?
I don't know her personally exactly, but yeah, I'm familiar with. There's many people that make the different dresses and stuff, and the work is amazing that goes into them.
Yeah, this woman, she kind of has like a closet where people can order. They can just say, oh, I want a small, medium, large, extra large, whatever, or she'll do the custom work. And then she has various dresses that are named for Austen characters. But then she also does a Little Women collection. There's a Bridgerton collection for people who like the modernized Regency look. And so, if you have a Janeite in your life, I feel like this is one of those things that would be just a wonderful surprise where,
oh my goodness, yes.
Can you imagine, if you could get them something like this that allows them to do that cosplay, but a classy cosplay.
I want to be laying on the couch now in my Regency dress and watching Pride and Prejudice. That's my goal.
Yes. We'll all play a little bit of Lady Bertram this holiday and just.
I need a pug. I'm gonna get a pug for Christmas too. Hazel knows it. Okay, Hazel knows everyone in the Austen community.
And Hazel, you need to join us next time.
Yes, we'll definitely have her on. I know it's pretty late for her.
Oh, okay.
So I appreciate you even being on and chatting with us, Hazel. All right, this one is me, classic comfy sweater. I love my Bookish and Austen themed t-shirts. I didn't even realize anyone was paying attention. Mindy, I think it was you that one meeting was like, you're always wearing Austen stuff. And I was like, oh, I am, I guess. It's kind of my uniform to just have something Bookish or Jane Austen that I'm wearing. So I don't think you can go wrong picking out something like this for yourself or to gift somebody that loves Jane Austen and keep them cozy. Or if you're like Mindy and you're going to the beach, use it as a cover up when you're running to the car.
You do have the best Austen wear though, Melissa. I mean, bar none. You really do. You always have something that's unique and it looks comfortable. I love it.
Thank you. This one is all you.
And I felt like we needed to go big, right, at the very end for our last gift. So if anybody's looking to max out their credit card and do something really special, a trip to really anywhere that relates to Jane would be wonderful. I mentioned Chawton House, but there's so many fantastic tours across England, of course. But if you can't get across the pond, I know that we've discussed, especially with Jane Austen's next birthday, the 250 coming up, there's going to be so many events everywhere. Doesn't really matter, the person's level of interest. There's a trip waiting for them.
Absolutely. If they're putting it on their credit card, the only requirement is you and I need to go with them.
2 more tickets, please.
And if you can't get out and travel and you want to join in the Austen Fun for all of the celebrations going on next year for Jane 250, then come and join us in the community. You'll find Mindy and I are hanging out there all the time. We have so many other amazing Austen enthusiasts that are in there, people who enjoy reading. We have a book club going on. You also, depending on what tier you were in, you get a narrated letter from Jane Austen. That's like one of my favorite little perks in there. I really enjoy. We have some award-winning narrators that do them for us, and so each month you kind of get to feel like Jane is just talking right to you through the letters that she's reading. And I just think that's a really fun part that is definitely unique to our community. Nobody else is narrating her letters, and you just get to have fun connecting with other people. Like, that's one of the things that I love about the gift of loving Jane Austen, is that you meet so many friends through these connections with people, and you just really find your community space, and it's just fun. You can go to the community if you want to join yourself, or if you want to gift a community membership to someone else. There is the option to do that now as well. And after we're done, I'll drop that in the comment section so you can find that link over there. I think that made it through all of our gift things that we had, and we just wanted to wrap up talking about what we could be looking forward to next year as far as TV adaptations. I don't think there's any movie adaptation announcements, but there's a couple TV things.
Right. Nothing that I've heard of, at least movie wise, but like you've said, the Pride and Prejudice is going to be a series, I believe, for Netflix.
Netflix, yes. And I can't find really any concrete information on it yet. I feel like the rumor was out there for a while and nobody can confirm it. It seems like it is confirmed and they're working on it, but we don't know who's been cast or any of the details yet for that. So we will stay tuned and keep our fingers crossed for good information coming from Netflix, Pride and Prejudice. And then we also have Miss Austen, which I believe PBS is going to be producing that, and it'll be a miniseries coming around May-ish, I believe.
Okay.
That we'll be seeing that one. And that has been cast already. I'm sure they're probably through filming and everything at this point in time, but I'm really excited for that one. How about you?
Oh, I think it's going to be really good. And that makes me feel like I want to reread the book just so it's all fresh in my memory.
I think we're going to be rereading that for sure in the community together before it comes out. And then maybe we can be doing a chat as the
That'd be great.
I think that would be a lot of fun as well.
I know we have a lot going on in the community this year too, so I'm really excited that I get to be a part of it, and I, get to experience this with like-minded friends. It's so nice to find other Janeites just hanging around, ready to talk about all my favorite things too.
It's funny how much you find that you have in common with people. Even I find, like, if you might read completely different genres, but if you have Jane Austen in common, there's definitely like a mutual love of all things Austen, and you have so much that you do end up finding in common to talk about that makes it just really enjoyable I love meeting people. I feel like you're the same way.
Yes.
to hear about their own experiences and how they found Austen and what are their favorite things, and chatting about that as well. Well, I think we both definitely have some reading to do to finish out the year, and we'll meet back with everybody once we get through the new year. We'll join back in for another live stream. I'll make sure we announce what time. It'll probably be a similar time that we'll be doing things, and we'll see how we did, if we made it through the books that we had planned, find out how Othello went over your holiday reading. I'll let you know if I make it through both of these. We will see, and talk about some more Jane Austen goodness, and we'll see if you got any of the gifts from the gift guide. Now I'm curious if your husband's going to come through.
Bless him. I'm sure he won't. He'll do one of those things where he'll say, "Oh, you didn't just order it for yourself?" Oh, well.
Oh, dear.
He tries.
Well, thank you everyone so much for joining us tonight. Hazel said she's going to meet us both in Chawton next June. Hazel, I will dream that into happening for all of us to meet up. That would be such an amazing experience. Truly it would. So I guess until 2025, we will see everyone later, which feels really weird to say.
All right, everybody. Have a good evening.
Bye.